I don't know about you all, but today I'm craving pizza, so I'm gonna go ahead and make a pizza with you guys. First, you're gonna need some warm water to bloom the yeast. I have that here. To that water, I add the package of yeast and a little bit of honey to it to give the yeast something to eat. So we're going to go ahead and add that. Quick squeeze of honey. And the yeast. We're going to give that a quick little mix to wake those yeast up and get them going. The honey gives it a nice little sweetness. I discovered this recipe from a friend of mine in college. So we're going to give this about 10 minutes to get foamy. While we wait though too, I'm going to add the flour and stuff to my bowl. And we're going to mix this right in my KitchenAid. So to the bowl we add 2.5 cups of flour. And a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I also like to add so there's 1, 2, and 1/2. I also like to add a tablespoon of cornmeal to the dough to give it some nice crisp, as well as flour in the bottom of it. My salt. And we're also going to add about a 1.5 tablespoons of oil right before I start to mix. We're going to mix this right in here with my paddle, or with the dough hook attachment for my KitchenAid. But if you want to do this by hand, you could always go ahead and use a good wooden spoon. You're going to want to mix it till it comes together and then knead it for about 6 minutes. Alright, so now that my yeast is all creamy and foamy, I'm going to go ahead and add it to the flour. I'm also going to add my 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil to that, and we're going to go ahead and get started mixing. Half tablespoon. Tablespoon. Alright, now help this get down there and form into a smooth ball. Once it does, we're going to cover this and let it rest until it doubles in size. Alright, so that looks smooth and elastic. Yep. Alright, so we're going to hit this with a splash of olive oil and cover it up and let it double in size. Alright, so it's been about 2 hours and our dough has definitely doubled in size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lightly flour my counter and turn this out. And then I'm going to preheat my oven. I'm going to set it to about 450. Just to give my pizza stone a chance to heat up. So I'm going to turn this out. Punch it down. Knead it a little bit. Bring it together. Alright, so I'm going to divide this dough in about half. so that I can work with it, because I'm only having pizza for me. Alright, so I'm going to form that into a ball, and I'm going to pop that in the freezer after I do this. I'm going to let this rest a little bit more so that it gets soft again, and then I'm going to start stretching. Alright, so it's been a few minutes, and I'm just going to start stretching you out, or stretching the dough out. Resisting the temptation to actually toss it like you would see in a pizza shop. My ceilings aren't really that high, so I'm not going to do it. But you just slowly like pull. I'm a huge fan of the, there's my oven coming up to temp, and I still want to give my pizza stone a little bit more of a chance to come up to temp, so I'm going to wait a little bit more before I put this in. Just continue stretching. If you get tears or anything, you can always just patch it back together. Try not to be so rough with it. I'm sure too, if you wanted to use a rolling pin, you could. There's no rules about how to stretch a pizza dough. I just like a thinner crust in the middle than I do on the edges, so I'm doing it that way. If I had a higher ceiling, I'd probably toss it for you, but since I don't, I'm not even going to attempt to. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle some cornmeal on my pizza peel. Because the pizza is almost bigger than it, so this is going to be fun. You could also make this pizza if you wanted to in a pan, so that it was easier to cook and transfer. Alright, so I just have some ordinary generic sauce. I'm sure you could also buy a canned and prepared pizza sauce. They're usually too sweet for me, so I go with just generic sauce. Let it keep my pizza dough moist and stuff a little bit. I'm gonna take this chance to add a little bit more flavor to it. This is a mix of oregano, basil, marjoram, and garlic. I call it my pizza seasoning. They're already pre-dried. I just mix them myself. Right underneath the cheese. We're gonna sprinkle a layer of pre-shredded mozzarella on top. I like it nice and cheesy, so I'm gonna go for lots of mozz. I'm going to do another sprinkle of my pizza seasoning. And now for the fun stuff, I have some sweet and hot Italian sausage. I'm just going to crumble it up over the top. This is the sweet. I always like to keep sausage on hand in the event that I want pizza or want to make some lasagna real quick. If you don't like, I use the classic sausage. This is all pork. If you don't eat pork or don't like pork, you can always use the turkey sausage. There's this really good apple turkey sausage that I've used before. Came out awesome on pizza and just in general. There's also some really good beef sausages, I guess. But I'm just a fan of the classic and original. Then we have some hot sausage. Alright, I think that's good. I'm going to get my hands washed and then get this over to the oven. Slide this right onto my pizza stone. And I'll be back to check on you in about 15 minutes. Alright, so the pizza's just about ready, but I want to give it a quick quarter turn. To make sure that it's cooking evenly. Give me a quick peek at the bottom. Not quite dark enough yet, so I'm just going to leave that in there for a little bit. Let's go ahead and take a look at our pizza, see how it came out. It's looking really, really good. Nice brown crust. Oh yeah, that looks good. So we're going to go ahead and let this cool for a minute before we cut into it. Alright, let's cut the pizza. See how it came out. Oh yeah, nice and, look at that. Nice and gooey. The crust is a little crispy. It's beautiful. Enjoy.